Why do they give us hope? There was absolutely no reason for Ryan O'Hearn to give me hope in the ninth inning there. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the post-game edition of the Ryan Ripken Show. I am Zach Bollinger. Kevin Ostreicher will be joining me here shortly. This is actually the first of two shows that we're doing tonight. We're going to do this one probably only for about 30 minutes or so, and then we will move on to the regular scheduled program tonight, probably like 5:36-ish. So let's talk about the Orioles lose 6-5 in the series finale versus the Toronto Blue Jays. The game wasn't close enough to be like 6-5. Like it doesn't feel like they lost 6-5. It felt like the game was over pretty much after the sixth inning when the Orioles fell down 6-1. But in classic Orioles fashion, this team never quits. This team just refuses to give up. Adley Rutschman, 2-run home run, bomb. I mean, we want to talk about bombs real quick. Adley got all of that one. So absolute bomb by Adley there. And then in the ninth inning, when like I'd accepted the loss. Like I'd already made the thumbnail for this. I'd already had Orioles fall short, like all this stuff. I had already. And then O'Hearn hits that 2-run homer to bring it to within one. And you just sat there. Like I audibly said, oh, come on. Like I didn't celebrate the home run. Like I just said out loud, I was like, oh, come on. Like, why do we have to give me hope? Next batter, Kyle Stowers strikes out to end the game. Cade Povich. Let's talk about Cade Povich for a little bit here. We're going to pull up his official line, but went 5 1/3, ends up giving up 5 hits, 4 walks, which we'll get into in a second. 6 earned runs. Obviously, the last 2 were Dylan Tate pitching, allowing those guys to score. But let's call it what it is. Cade Povich did not do enough to win this game in the walks category. 4 walks, and 3 of them come around to score. Obviously, Vladimir Guerrero's 3-run home run, kind of the big blast in the game. Stephen Gordon, I'm seeing you saying, yeah, walks killed him. Walks absolutely killed him. Sean, I'm gonna disagree here. I like that they brought Povich out there for the 6th. I think in that type of game, they are still trying to keep this bullpen rested. I know, hindsight, yeah, it would have been nice to not give up those 2 runs. Theoretically, the Orioles win if they don't give up those 2 runs. We'd see what the Blue Jays did in the bottom of the 9th, but I'm not going to say that would have changed the game necessarily. I liked at the time Hyde trying to give the bullpen a rest, trying to see if Povich can go out there, really continue to build confidence with them. But overall, I liked what Cade Povich did. I thought it was enough for me to say he deserves another start. It really was. Yeah, for a debut, I'm seeing people talk about throughout the comments here since before we even got on. Walks killed him, but the Blue Jays only had 2 balls hit above 95 miles an hour, both by Vladimir Guerrero, one being the 3-run home run that obviously changed the game completely, and the other being a single. So overall, the Blue Jays did not hit Povich as badly as I think people, I've seen some people online saying, Povich has to be better than that. He can't be giving up those runs. He can't be walking guys. If you take out those walks, Povich had a hell of a game. It felt like 3 or 4 times in a row, guys were grounding out to the pitcher. In situations like that, it sucks. It sucks to see that 6 next to him. That's what sucks the most about this. It's because it doesn't feel like he gave up 6 runs. The way that the Blue Jays were hitting him and they were fooled by him all game, it felt like he was a lot better than that. But it was the walks killed him. And every single one of those runs came with 2 outs. And that's what sucks. God, that sucks. 2 outs. He would get for the first 2 guys, and then the third out was the tough one. Absolutely horrible horrible feeling. I can't imagine like just sitting there knowing if you would have been able to get one or two more calls on the corners, maybe this game looks a whole lot different. But overall, I'm impressed with how Povich pitched. I think he deserves another chance. Another thing no one's going to talk about, if you look at the scorebook, little stat watch, Ryan Mountcastle was cranking the ball today. Only ends up with one hit, but man, his second hit or second at bat, 101 miles an hour off the bat, actually exactly the same spot as Vladimir Guerrero hit his home run. Only difference is Vlad's came off at, I believe it was 103.3 at a 34-degree launch angle, and Mountcastle was 101 at a 31-degree launch angle. So Mounties gets caught at the wall. Literally, if Springer doesn't catch it, it hits the top of the wall. It was just one of those games. Seeing a lot of things. Walks killed us. Offense didn't help either. Offense didn't help at all. Clay says Povich made one bad pitch. Take that every time. Defense failed him. Yeah, offense failed him, excluding Adley. Yeah, and what's funny is it wasn't even really that bad of a pitch. That's what's like the funniest part of that home run is he tried to backdoor cutter him, and he did exactly what he was hoping to do. Only issue is Vlad is a damn good hitter, and Vlad saw it coming and put it over the right field fence. I'm not gonna blame him. I mean, that was like you said, Clay. You take that every time. If you're gonna get beat on that pitch, he puts it over the bullpens. That happens. I mean, good hitters are gonna win those sometimes. I see Patricio, the overreactions. You get every loss comes with overreactions. Every win comes with overreactions. Don't worry, Mike. It's coming on the show in about when we go live at 5:30. I have something planned for that. So appreciate the donation. You're the man, bro. Saying Povich was good, true, but that still doesn't mean that Hyde left him in too long. I don't think he left him in too long. I think he saw that he was getting weak contact, and he did. He continued to do that in the sixth inning. The only issue is he started walking guys, or continued walking guys, I should say. And once that happens, Hyde had to pull him. Honestly, you get the tough, is it fair, is it foul with Westberg down the line at third base. You get the out there, you're hoping you can get out of that inning, still 4-1. Doesn't happen. You give up the single. It was just a tough, it truly was just a tough outing, or a tough ending to that outing, because you would have loved for him to be able to leave with just that 4 on the board, kind of make you feel a little bit better about yourself. You keep the ERA under 10, but he's unable to do that. It's just an annoying loss. And I saw someone say it earlier, and maybe this was also on Twitter a lot. What makes this suck more is that how well the Orioles played games 1 and 2, and the fact that I truly believe they should have won last night as well. I mean, obviously we don't beat Jose Barrios. He's 12. He's personally 10-1 against us. His teams are 12-1 against us. But it felt like a winnable game last night. It felt like the offense just disappeared, and it kind of carried over into the beginning part of this game, and it ends up with a 5-6 loss. I'm just looking through the stats right now. Oh, look, we have a wild Kevin Oestreicher on the other side. We'll get him in a second. It's just a tough game, man. I just keep looking through the stats. Connor Norby, I will say this. Connor Norby, he looks more comfortable, and I love it. Connor Norby gets the single in his first at bat. It was just a good at bat. Like he just looks comfortable. He's attacking pitches. He actually got 2 strikes on him and didn't matter. He still went out there and got it. Got the hit. He's growing more and more comfortable. Joe, I know you have to say this to get Kerstead up, so I understand where you're coming from. But let's get Kevin in here to talk about this a little bit. Kevin, how's it going?
It's been a pretty crazy 15 minutes. Banksy's been an absolute menace, so that's why I'm a little late. But the Orioles, man, the offense sputters till late. It's not enough. I thought Povich was okay. I'm not mad at it.
Walks killed him.
It was the walks. I mean, You're talking, and I was listening to the stream. You're talking about, if that it's a 4 spot instead of a 6 spot, you're feeling a lot better. But if it's a 4 spot instead of a 6 spot, the Orioles win the game based off how things unfolded. So it's just it's woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? They didn't play well enough, but I think for me, so that's America right there. But
America, baby.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, especially with the way the series started out, especially how that second game went. It felt like they had all the momentum, and then they just threw it all away in that third game, and they couldn't recover. The offense starting slow again, and I think a lot of people are. Again, it's like where do you put the loss? I mean, I think it's on walks and on the offense. I mean, not that they didn't show up because they did show up late, but it's just like if they get momentum early, well, I mean, relatively to what they were doing. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to say 2 guys showed up. Although I'll give Westbrook credit, get on base. Westbrook walks because, of course.
Well, when I say offense, I mean if it's one player, I just say offense because I'm like, it encapsulates everybody. But yes, Adley showed up, O'Hearn showed up. You can talk about Westberg and I guess Norby with his, but when you have starting off in your 5 spot. You have 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 1 for 3, 0 for 3, and 0 for 3. Plus, the Stowers. Well, if you want to throw Stowers in, we'll throw O'Hearn in also. But it wasn't good enough. So I think, you got to flush this one again. We'll talk about the better Bradish news later. But is Povich a mainstay in the rotation yet? We don't know. So,
yeah, real quick, I do want to talk about this. I know I say this a lot, like as a joke, that I'll take 80 miles an hour to the ribs, from a pitching machine. The difference between 80 and 98 to the ribs, like there is you saw the reaction from Austin Hayes. I would never wish that on anyone. That was a trope. That had to hurt so bad.
Yeah. Didn't you say you were doing 100? Like when we hit a certain number of subs, didn't you say you were taking 100?
No, I'll take 80. I said I'll cap at 80. I'll take 85 potentially.
Hold on. Banksy's trying to eat something. He's not. I'll be right back.
Kevin Ostraker, ladies and gentlemen. I see this comment a lot about the Yankees will easily win the division. The Tampa Bay Rays were handed the division in April last year. The Orioles didn't catch them until July, and then they went the distance and won the division. We have 4 months left of the season, people. We have 4 months left of the season. It is at worst a 4-game lead for the Yankees, 4.5-game lead. I'm not worried at all. At this point last year, the Orioles, we put up there before. The Yankees are just on an insane run right now. Like the Orioles are playing above 110 win pace over the past, I think it was like 15 games, and the Yankees have played even better. Like the Yankees will fall eventually, or if they don't, guess what? The Texas Rangers last year weren't in the playoffs 2 weeks before it started, and then they won the damn thing. So get to the I could care less about, as much as it'd be fun to win the division. After what happened last year, I'm fully on just get to the dance and let's play ball. It doesn't matter for the 1 seed or the last seed. It all comes the same at the end of the day. Kevin, we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Are you Kevin?
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah, there. Oh, look, there he is. There you are.
Am I the one breaking up, or is your computer?
You're breaking up. I think it's you, but maybe it's me. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Anyway, yeah, I see a lot of people saying don't worry about the Yankees. I mean, yeah, it's true. The Orioles have to go out there and do it themselves. I mean, we talk about this in every single sport, right? Oh, it is me. Great. Well, anyway, the Orioles have to do it themselves. And at the end of the day, what Baltimore is going to have to do is establish positive trends where with their offense and them starting slow, we've talked about the bullpen, but the bullpen, I mean, it wasn't the issue today. So, yeah, Zach, apparently it was me. So that's all me.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that comment, but this actually gave me an excuse to go get my charger because I realized my computer's at 4%. So that actually saved us.
All right, well then let me reset because it's me. So hold on.
Yeah, you go have fun, Kevin. You try to figure out what's happened. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, so I'm not worried. Like if the Yankees are going to have to put this up for 162 games, just like the Rays had to last year, and they ended up not doing it. It's still so early in the season. What are the Orioles? 39-22. Quick math. Okay, so there's 61 games into the season. Did I do that right? Yeah, 61 games into the season. Because I'm a smart cookie. That means there's 101 games left. That is a lot of baseball, people. A lot can happen in 101 games. If you think I'm looking at standings or worried about the AL East right now, I couldn't care less. Like, it would be really cool to win the AL East, but it's not. It does not move me at all to be in first place in the AL East on June 6th. No team has ever won a division because they were in first place on June 6th. And if you can go look that up, do all the research you want, that you ain't finding it. No team has ever won the division crown on June 6th. It's impossible to mathematically win it. So there's a lot of baseball left. A lot of things can happen in 101 games. This is also a Yankee team that has notoriously fallen apart. These teams deal with injuries. So, you got to hope that Stanton stays completely healthy. Judge stays completely healthy. Yeah, their bullpen is incredible, but they got to do it for 101 more games. Like there's so many different things that can happen in 101 games, and maybe the Orioles just fall apart. Who knows? It's 101 games. There's a lot of baseball left. But if we're worried or crowning people on June 6th, man, you gotta slow your roll and take a deep breath, bud.
Yep, we have so many games left, so much.
We have
time
101.
Left,
we have 101 left.
We're not even. I mean, we can't even really fully evaluate this team yet. Ryan's timeline is the end of June. What I would like to see, though, is, again, as I was mentioning, establishing those positive trends early. Because I think it's easier once you establish those trends early in the season to keep up with them. Whereas if you try to establish them late, it's
maybe the Orioles are done. I just went on that rant about how they were good, and now the banner's starting to fall. It's actually funny enough. It's our AL East. You know what's funny? You know what the one that fell was the AL East Championship 2014.
You're giving off bad juju right now, Zach. I'm not.
No, that's horrible juju. Throw out. If you have a future,
this.
if you have a future on the Orioles winning the AL East, throw it out now. Apparently, that ain't happening.
Yeah, no. I see a lot of comments about Jorge Lopez. There hasn't been any update on that at all. I don't think it hurt. I do not think it would hurt. Even just if you sign him on a minimum or minor league deal. Like, we saw we have to pour one out quickly. It was the end officially of the Thiago Vieira era in Baltimore today. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. But we can no longer say Thiago Vieira is an Oriole. He got claimed by the Arizona Diamondbacks today. So shout out Thiago Vieira for everything he did.
Thiago Vieira, one of the Orioles of all time.
Yeah.
He'll forever be one of them.
He actually does. What'd you say? A trivia answer?
Oh, he is going to be an incredible trivia answer. He ends his Orioles career with an infinity ERA. Didn't record a single out.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
They just put the infinity signs. Not the best of times, but yeah.
So, but that's what we were saying about essentially with Vieira on the roster, they were operating a man short. Like with Vieira, they did not trust putting him in high leverage situations. That you couldn't even put him in. What was that? 11-1, 11-0. You couldn't put him in a game where they were up by double digits. So they were essentially operating a man down in that bullpen. And even with, whenever Bradish's next start is going to be, hopefully Kramer comes back soon. Once that happens and once they at least have hopefully soon some semblance of just consistency. Is it still all TBAs in the rotation for this next series?
Oh yeah.
So again, once they have
TBA.
once they get some semblance of just some doesn't even have to be everybody, but some consistency in that rotation, I think that will also help the bullpen, especially if you can move somebody like Suarez back or Cole Irvin back. And if you want to keep Povich up, if there's room, I think once they establish more consistency, it will help. But again, the starters are not the issue here. They haven't been all season. And for Povich in his debut, the walks were killer. But for a debut, it was fine. It's just the walks were frustrating.
I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings here. I think Povich gets sent down tomorrow because they called him up and sent down Vespi, and they are currently, unless they're putting Suarez or Irvin in the bullpen, they're now a guy down in the bullpen.
Yeah, they're operating a man down again.
So I find it very hard unless
is this the Brian Baker revenge tour?
Yeah, unless knock on wood we see an addition to the IL, it would seem as if someone from the pitching staff starting rotation would have to go down or go to the bullpen. I feel like it's got to be Povich. And that's, I like that. It has nothing to do with his performance. I think no matter what he did today, he was going to get sent down, like that's just, it's the numbers game at that point. He can't be played for the next 4 days. That doesn't help you anywhere. And he's got plenty of options.
I think this month, and especially a 4-game set, like you need as much bullpen, as many bullpen arms as you can get. So like, agree. It's nothing to do with the performance, but at the end of
this is the exact reaction every time we bring Brian Baker up on this show.
Oh my, yeah, geez. I mean, I knew he wasn't like the most loved Oriole ever, but oh my god,
yeah,
you would have thought Thiago Vieira's name would have been. Just like, well, I guess Vieira's is kind of like LOL it happened, but
yeah. Sluggers. So I like this. Hyde said that he would not hesitate to give Povich a second start. Sounds like he's staying in probably Irvin or Suarez back to the pen. I could see it, but I think right now, because what Irvin would be coming up, it really all depends on what they want to do in these next 4 games. If Bradish is good to go and he doesn't have to miss any starts, well, besides today, if he can just go tomorrow or Saturday, then maybe we find a situation where Irvin goes back. But if they're going to put Bradish off a few more days, they got to get someone else in that bullpen, especially after how many guys did they use today? I'm going to try to quickly. It was what, 3? 2, only 2.
Yeah,
you know what?
2,
actually, Keegan Aiken, shout out. I forgot you went 2 full innings.
2 innings. 2 innings. So
he's getting a lot better. Keegan Aiken. He's starting to get his swagger back.
Man, yeah, Brian Baker just is catching. I don't know if I should call them strays, but they
are directed at him.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think quite literally directed. So
I love the hate Brian. Like it's just I actually am a kind of a fan of Brian Baker. I think he's got electrifying stuff when he can control it.
All right. Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be on the stream anymore. So second time in 2 streams, Zach has been kicked off the stream for outlandish comments. Sorry, guys. We'll add him back sooner this time for
that was good, Kevin. That was good. Yeah, okay. Thank you. All right, party. Baker had his moments. He had that really cool strikeout where he did the backwards moonwalk off the. We will have that forever. I don't think people understand that. We'll have that forever.
Yeah. Now, in the chat, what's worse? Zach complimenting Brian Baker or forgetting Earl Weaver's number?
That was so much worse. Much worse.
I'm Earl Weaver 1,000%.
Yeah, that was really bad. I'm gonna do so. I'm making it up on our second show though. So something's happening, man.
Oh, is that a little teaser? A little teaser?
Yeah, it's not big, but I have to earn back everyone's trust.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to it. Other things to talk about in the game. Do we want to talk a little bit about You talked a little bit about the offense in the beginning before I got on.
Yeah.
But
I went off on them.
Sorry, I'm just pulling back up the stat. By the way, O'Hearn's homer was both electric.
Real quick,
sorry,
Mike and everyone else. Second show will be probably in like an hour and a half.
Probably around
me and Kevin are literally
5:30 to 6, more so probably 5:30 ish. So
yeah, like 5:30 ish. Me and Kevin are literally about to get off here and then drive to the studio to start. So
yeah, so that will be we'll have Orioles conversation. Obviously, we're going to talk about some of the bigger topics around the sports world, but we will still be talking Orioles. So be sure to come back for that one. But
this is so messed up, but it's really funny.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, what I was gonna say is that Ryan O'Hearn's homer was both devastating and electric at the same time. Because, like, again, though it's what I go through every time with the Orioles, even like with the Ravens and the Nuggets. It's like they rip your heart out by not doing anything, and then all of a sudden they catch fire, and then they still can't win. So when it happened, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome! Go win!" But then when they didn't win, it was like, okay, my heart just got ripped out for a second time. It's the elation of, oh man, they have a chance, they're back in this thing, and then just the devastation, because you already felt devastated because it's like, oh, okay, this game doesn't feel winnable. Then the Orioles did their cardiac comeback kids thing, but they couldn't actually do it. So I agree. A lot of O'Hearn love. 100% here. O'Hearn proves the team fights to the end. O'Hearn is so damn clutch. Yeah, Casey agrees with me. Only agreed to be tortured about this game once today. Twice was what ended up happening. So that's how I feel. And shout out you, Pocket Watch. I don't really know what that word means, but
cathartic.
He said he loves the post game shows. So
this kind of vibey.
Because I got like a 2.8. Actually, like a 2.1 GPA in high school. So, but then I turned it around in college. So, comeback story. I am one of the cardiac comeback kids based off how I did in college compared to high school. So,
makes one of us.
I think we've had that conversation before.
Yeah. I love how everyone's going to come. Yeah, you know what, Kevin? Yeah, you don't know what cathartic is?
Are you going to kick me out?
No, I'm going to be nice.
Thank you.
Are you looking it up?
Oh, so what I thought it meant was like relaxed, which I guess in a way it does. It provides psychological relief through the open expression of strong emotions. So, all right. I was a 3.5 kid in college, just not in high school. High school, I don't know.
The friend school, baby.
I wasn't interested in learning about birds or history, so that's on me. But
you're a good kid. Thank you, Pocket Watch.
Thank you. Yes. Am I approaching Rocco levels with Jason?
I think you are.
Like this is the second time Jason has called me worse than the tornado that ran through the Maryland region yesterday. By the way, hope everybody's safe and nothing. You know, that was pretty crazy. The weather
that was really crazy.
I recorded my Lockdown Ravens episode with Kadri Ismail before. Like it was just before it like actually got bad, and I had gotten the weather alert on my phone, and I did it I had it in the middle of an interview, and my phone's just blaring in the middle of an interview, and I didn't know what it was for. So yeah, but relief from a loss. So that's what we're here for. If you missed last night's stream, we did a little preview of the Holy Shirts and Pants members where we talked about baseball for about 40-45 minutes, and then we said, all right, baseball part is done. Ask us anything. You know, baseball, football, life, whatever it may be. And it was fun. It was a nice way to forget about the loss, have some fun after a loss, even though losses are not fun. So that's just a little sneak preview of the
I agree with this so much.
Member streams.
If we take the Wonderlic.
Have you seen the new Vince Young interview that happened today?
No.
They interviewed a retired football coach, but they thought it was Vince Young, and they're like, "You're like all your time at Texas," like, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, you have the wrong person." And the reporter just stood there, just no words. It was the most awkward interview I've ever seen in my life. I like physically cringed watching the reporter just stand there. It was terrible. Are you looking it up?
No, that's
Oh.
I'm going to look it up, but it's like that time where the person interviewed Adrian Peterson and didn't know it was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Oh, but it was so much worse. I mean, the thing is, this person looked nothing like Vince Young is the worst part. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. We want to start. Gosh, tough loss. But you want to start wrapping this up so we can get on our roll. And
yeah. Do we want to do one up, one down, and then get out of here? Get ready for the second show.
Yeah.
One up for me is obviously Adley. I think a lot of people's would be Adley today. He continues his strong season, and hashtag, I think, Jason is the leader, or one of the leaders at least, of the hashtag Extend Adley group. So hashtag Extend Adley. One down. Yeah, it's between walks and just the overall offense. I mean, I'd probably give it to the overall offense just because, especially with Povich, like, it's his debut. I'm not going to go like uber. It's not like he even pitched like horribly. Like, he was, I think, fine outside of the walks. So I think just the offense as a whole, not being able to get it going early, too little, too late. And Zach, as you said, I mean, it's a good point. Was it the offense that showed up, or was it just Adley and Ryan O'Hearn? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go offense.
My one up. I'm going to say Povich. And here's why. Yeah, the walks suck, but in a debut, you kind of expect walks. And walks have honestly kind of been his calling card. He's a guy who struggled with walks. So it's not new. It's something that he's going to have to fix. But with nerves and everything, for him to be getting the weak contact he was and for how deceptive he was, I'm going to say this was a good start, especially if he would have gotten out of there with just the 4 runs. It's completely different. He gave up one bad pitch to Vlad, and not even a bad pitch, as we talked about earlier. One down. I'm just going to say the vibes. Well, I'm not going to go specific. It just felt like for a lot of this game, we weren't like, there was just non-competitive at bats. There were so many opportunities the Orioles had to strike, to put a record, to put a rally together, and they just couldn't get it done. So that's what really, I'm going to take the easy way out. I'm just going to say altogether the vibes for most of the game were down. They just were not great. It felt like the Orioles were moving in slow motion at times, and that sucked offensively, at least.
Yeah, I think also just the fact that, like, the vibes were so high after the first 2 games of the series, and then it just just kind of came crashing down.
Yes, Casey, the vibes. Okay, if you want to have your own one up, one down, get your own show.
Wow. All right. Speaking of the vibes, have you seen that on basketball scouting reports, people are now putting aura?
No.
Yeah. Has aura on this. I've seen it multiple times, like even with like Bronny, like I've seen it for him too, where it's like pros has aura. Look at you, Zach, calling out Casey. She's gonna start her own show.
She's the full name. That's the legal name right there.
Although apparently the right way to spell Zach is with the H and not the K.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I do have a brother named Zachary, and it is spelled the same way. So,
thank you.
By the way, Clay Train, did you see Lamar obliterated Nick Wright? I did. I actually made sure to screenshot it and tweet it so everybody knew. Have you seen it, Zach?
No. When did this happen? Did this happen right before I?
Here, look. Because someone called him like Nick Wright, like a big nose. I forget what the actual tweet was like, but someone said Nick Wright had a big nose. And Lamar tweeted that GIF. It was I'm just like, there's no way this actually happened. Because Lamar, because I tweeted the thing. I tweeted the thing about Lamar yesterday. And I think Ramey tagged Lamar in it, and he responded to Ramey's tweet. And now it's one of those, like, Lamar gets on Twitter once a month and just goes crazy.
I'm looking at it right now.
It is. So we will talk about that as well on the show coming up in an hour or so.
We actually have a lot of cool topics to talk about. So we got
do,
like Dan Hurley,
including Kyle Bradish, which long story short, but we'll talk about it more.
We might have to reevaluate where our concern levels are.
Panic level. Yep. We do not have to be as panicked as we were, especially you, Zach. You were more panicked than I was.
I was so panicked.
You were like a 7.
We're just.
Oh, here we go.
I was just gonna say we got some incredible Zakari.
Zakari.
Actually, that kind of slaps.
You're gonna legally change your name?
No, I'm just gonna start putting that on Uber orders. Like, no, it's Zachary. They're gonna be like, why is it spelled like that?
Well, that's like like the Starbucks. Well, that's like just if you like order Starbucks or order something.
Yeah.
Where they'll spell like someone's name wrong.
Oh, okay. Wait. So funny story. This is our last just off topic story before we get out of here. So one time, me and my roommates in college were ordering, Chipotle, like we were just like Uber Eatsing it, and so we all put our orders, and they all obviously put their names on the thing, and so I, as a joke, made mine Mommy. So it was like my 3 friends, and then mine was Mommy. They thought it was for a family, and they decided to be really nice. And they put like, I didn't know they had like oranges, like these juice boxes. Like they tried to hook us up. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to this frat house. Like it literally. And so we all got like these mini oranges. We got like juice boxes with our food. But I was like, yeah.
And that got you through the rest of the night, didn't it?
Yeah, it was just so funny. We were like, I was like, yo, I'm putting mine as Mommy so they think we're a family. And then they did, and they were like, I just felt so bad because I was like, some worker was like, I'm gonna make this lady and her kids night. And it was just 4 degenerates. Like,
well, couldn't have gone to a nicer guy.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. You're a good kid.
You're welcome. Yeah. It's all right. We'll wrap up here. We'll get down to the studio. We'll have another show. We'll have Orioles topics, Ravens topics, MLB topics, NFL topics, and
NBA topics.
And yeah, we got a lot of topics.
Or NBA topic.
Well, yes.
Well, I guess topics because we also have the finals tonight.
Yeah. So all-encompassing show. Be sure to stay tuned for it. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you want to become a channel member, get exclusive perks like emotes. We all have one. Still got to get on that Banksy emote. By the way, he was still being a menace right now. But we'll have that for you.
Of course, we killed the juice boxes.
Again, couldn't have gone to a nicer group. So, all right. Anything else, Zach? You good?
We'll see you all in an hour.
Yep. See you soon. Stay tuned.
All right. We'll see you. Yeah. Peace, guys. We'll see you soon.